Hi guys, it's Mew2King, and this will be my first and probably last tier list that I make a YouTube video for. So this is going to be the tier list where I rank all the characters in the order that I think they should go. I'm going to start from who I think is the worst character and go up to who I think is the best character. I'm assuming a lot of you guys probably know a good amount of Melee since the game's been out for quite a while. So I'm mostly going to focus on why they're in the order they are. So I'm going to start with bottom tier. So the worst character in the game, I will start with Bowser. If Yoshi's story was the only stage in the game, I think Bowser would actually be significantly higher, and I think he'd just be like a low tier. However, in a 2 out of 3, you always get to ban Yoshi's story. So that's Bowser's best stage by far, because on Yoshi's story, Bowser can up B at a shield, and then go to the ledge, grab the ledge, and then you can either do get up attack, or you can ledge jump, which makes you auto cancel very quickly to the platform. Bowser is significantly better in Yoshi's story than the other stages. However, that's the problem. In 3 out of 5s, you only get that once, and in 2 out of 3s, it's usually going to be banned against you, assuming they know the Bowser matchup, which no one does anyway. Also, Bowser's techs are really bad. So Marth could down throw Bowser and cover all 4 options with tech throw at the ledge, for example, because Bowser's tech roll, he barely goes anywhere during the first half of the roll. And because of that, combined with his big body, he can't even escape tech roll situations. You can literally cover all 4 tech options with a big move very easily. So he basically gets comboed in tech chase situations without even reacting, just by putting your hitboxes in certain areas. His recovery is also very bad. He's a big hitbox. Basically, everything you know about Ultra Bowser is pretty much worse. It's hard for me to even think of a single move that could possibly be better, because every move just seems pretty much just worse. I also want to mention that the next 2 characters are also contenders for the worst character in the game. I happen to pick Bowser as the worst, but I think the next 2 I will mention are also contenders. Next, Kirby. So Kirby I used to think was the worst because he has like a horrible Fox matchup, but he's not as bad against the other characters. He's still really bad, but he can kind of do things to like a Sheik or Falcon or Falco who doesn't know the matchup with you're jumping in the air and the back airs and up tilt up airs and ducking and just shielding and being patient and stuff, but he's still pretty darn bad and still a contender for the worst. He gets shines. He has 5 jumps, but with no area drift, he gets shine spike very easily. His back throw and forward throw don't even work really. He can down throw tech chase a character who doesn't have a long tech roll, but if they have a long tech roll, it doesn't work at all. The down throw might be a saving grace for someone for like a Wizrobe level reaction time or something, but yeah, there's not much he has besides ducking under moves and back air, and then up tilt up air and stuff. Next, I'll have Zelda. I rank her 3rd worst in the game, but still a contender for the worst. Zelda pretty much is back air and forward air the character. Back air is objectively the better move between the 2, coming out at frame 4, and forward air comes out on frame 7. But pretty much when you're fighting a Zelda, it's really coming down to 2 things: avoiding forward air and back air, and not getting hit by crouch cancel down smash, because she's the fastest smash attack in the game. Her down smash is frame 4, and every other smash attack is frame 5 or later. So she has a really good crouch cancel down smash, and the forward air and back air are her main moves. But outside of forward air, back air, and crouch cancel down smash, she's pretty much complete garbage. At least she has kind of a recovery, so she has more chances to live. Could be really useful on a stage like Dreamland, where you have way more opportunities to live. You just teleport to a platform if they're covering the ledge well. And you're going to get hit, but you're going to have way more opportunities to live. And she can do okay against Jigglypuff and Peach and certain characters that you can camp out. But she's pretty gimmicky, and I still think she'd be 3rd worst. This assumes that you can't transform into Sheik, by the way. So I'm ranking Sheik and Zelda separately. Next, I'll have E tier, which I count as still bottom tier, but the more of the borderline. I will have Roy as the 4th worst in the game. Now, if this game was literally just Roy versus Fox on FD, then Roy's a pretty good character. I think that matchup might even be I think that matchup's only slight Fox favor on FD. But that's the thing. That's only one matchup, and only on one stage. If you consider all the matchups on all the stages, Roy is still really bad. His moves come out about 20% slower than Marth. For example, forward smash and down smash are frame 12 and 6 respectively, when Marth's are 10 and 5 respectively. The sword is shorter. The strong hit of his smash attacks, like the strong hit of Roy's F smash, is slightly weaker than the tip of Marth. Moves coming out slower with less range, less power. Oh yeah, also, when you're at 30%, when you're at 300%, a lot of his moves still won't kill you. So even in Super Sudden Death, he's not guaranteed to win. And also in the shield drop meta, you can literally just platform camp him. And you can literally just ban FD if you're a fast faller and just camp platforms and really abuse why he's not very good. He's mainly carried by like having a good dash dance, good down tilt and crouch cancel down tilt, good crouch cancel down smash, strong F smash, being good on FD against like Fox and just comboing fast fallers in general. But his weaknesses are pretty bad too. And he's basically just he's better than Marth if you just got the game and you've only played the game for like 1 day. But then when you played the game for more than a few days, Marth becomes substantially better. There was actually a point in time when Melee just came out in 2001. I thought Roy was better just because I would forward smash and neutral B computers. But do not judge how you fight level 9s based on a human, because that is a very, very bad idea. I think the next worst is Ness, but I think Ness is like clearly better than the other 4. Like I feel like there's the bottom 3, and then Roy's clearly 4th. And then I think Ness is like noticeably better than Roy overall, but I think Ness is still 5th, and I think he's still like the I think he's borderline bottom tier. So Ness in this game, he mainly comes down to like his forward air has good disjoints, his dash attack has good disjoints. But if he hits you with dash attack or grab, he can start a combo, especially on a fast faller. Like you can up throw and then up air, up air, up air, or up air re-grab, depending on how the fast falling speed and percentage of the character. But his recovery is just so bad that like if he's off stage, he's pretty much just dead. It's actually such a horrible recovery. This is the worst Ness recovery in any Smash game, like easily. You can literally just hit him before the up B, and then the up B lags after it, and you don't grab edge immediately. It's just really, really bad. So if he's off stage, he's pretty much screwed. Having good disjoints on the forward air is pretty nice, though. And the double jump cancels for the aerials to like make them strike first. Like Xbox does that a lot with both Puff and Ness. Like you like jump away first, and then they strike first, and then you can double jump cancel fair, or double jump cancel back air and stuff. It's not bad, but I still think the other characters are better than him. So I rank him 5th in the game. Now I'll have the low tier. The worst of the low tiers, I would say, is Game & Watch. Now, I want to mention that these characters are all close, so it was very hard for me to rank these. But if I had to pick the 6th worst in the game or the worst of the low tiers, I'd say Game & Watch. And it really just comes down to the fact that he's only good at like certain matchups. Like if Jigglypuff was like the only character in the game, Game & Watch actually has like a close to even matchup with Puff. And Game & Watch is actually pretty decent against characters against Peach. But that's it, pretty much. He has a really, really, really good forward air. And he also has a really, really good crouch cancel down tilt. And he can chain grab fast falls like 0 to death on FD. So it seems like he has a lot going for him. But with his the thing is, if you literally just avoid fair, like block fair and just don't get hit by fair, and don't get hit by crouch cancel down tilt, there's very little you can do to mix you up after that, after you realize his gimmick. His shield, even a full shield, is like really like you can consistently get shield poked, even if your shield is like 99.9% full. You can still get shield poked very consistently because his shield is so bad. There's like 3 of his aerials you can't even L cancel, so it means you're pretty much relying most of the time on like forward airing them over and over, down airing, or just using good hitboxes. I might be putting Game Watch too low. It's just I'm not really sure who else he'd be above. Like it's not even that. That's why I put a tier gap there. Like I feel like he's clearly better than the 5 below him, but I wasn't fully convinced that the other characters that I'm ranking above him are worse, and that's pretty much the main reason why I just put him here. Next, I will have Mewtwo. So Mewtwo's a strange case where I feel like Mewtwo's like... some people might argue I put Mewtwo too low. In the past, it's interesting, because in the past, Mewtwo's considered the worst in the game. And I didn't even agree with that. And now some people think like Mewtwo's amazing for some reason. I'm like, dude, no. I think he's around here. He has really, really bad matchups, like against like Falcon, like Marth, and a bunch of others. But he can actually do some good combos in the fast fallers. Being able to combo fast fallers is like pretty nice. I still think Falcon like destroys Mewtwo really bad, but he can at least combo fast fallers, which is really important because Fox and Falcon are so good and also so common. So that buffs him up a lot. Like you could up throw fair regrab or just fair to fair. But if you're not getting the grab, it's good luck getting your combo starters because kind of like Game Watch, he relies a lot on the crouch cancel down tilt. He has a pretty good down tilt. And you can just keep doing down tilt into a tech chase, down tilt grab. They could literally just realize that you're relying on wave dash in tilt, crouch cancel down tilt, wave dash shield, You're not really fighting effectively without abusing like the wave dash shield, or wave dash tilt, crouch cancel down tilt, because your forward air just has so little range. Back air has range, but it has like no. It's just a bad risk reward overall. And then your tail hurt box is part of your body. So yeah, a lot of these low tiers is kind of like it's based on the matchup. Like Mewtwo's pretty decent against fast forwards, but he's not very likely to win against like characters who can just outrange him, like Jigglypuff and Marth and stuff. And Falcon just down throw needs, up throw up airs him free. So yeah, it's another situation where like, he could be better based on what you value. But yeah, that's why the low tiers are tricky, because it's really based on what matchups you value and how much you value them. Don't take the exact order of the low tiers specifically too seriously, because this is the hardest part. Next, I'll have Pichu. This is probably the highest you'll ever see Pichu on a tier list. But I actually think that Pichu's only like horrendous matchup is like probably like Fox, maybe like Fox Jigglypuff. But outside of like Fox Puff, I feel like Pichu isn't the worst ever against the other characters. Like Pichu has some interesting buffs, benefits that other people don't realize. For one, this may sound dumb, but most characters' empty land landing lag is only 4 frames, and Pichu's is only 2 frames. So that may seem useless, but I'll explain more. His Nair landing lag is only 6 frames, where Pikachu and Fox's, I believe, are 7 frames. So Pikachu has less landing lag on an empty land, less landing lag on the Nair, and he can combo characters, like he can chain grab Falcon to like from like 0 to 80 or so, depending on like how you do the combo. Fox can literally just short hop Nair and trade or usually beat Pichu's everything real easily, and that's why the matchup's so bad. But if it's a character he can chain grab or combo or edge guard, it's not the worst. Also, it's good to mention that Pichu has the best shield in the game, in my opinion, for like protecting his body consistently. And his forward roll, his grab range is deceptively better than it seems. Like it's more range than Pikachu has by a good amount. And he has a really good roll out of shield, particularly forward roll out of shield. So he's really good with like evasion and stuff, and you can just watch my Pichu to get some ideas of why I think this. But if you're valuing the Fox matchup, then Pichu's the worst of the low tier. But if you're valuing like other matchups, then I put him a bit higher. So Pichu's exceptionally bad against Fox, but not. I still feel like he's just a little bit underrated. But yeah, this is my opinion. Next, I'll have Young Link. Now, Young Link's another really tricky situation, because it's like Young Link also sucks against Fox, but Young Link is noticeably good against floaty slow characters. Like Young Link is really good against Jigglypuff. That matchup's like roughly even. And then he can fight Peach well and also fight Samus well. So there's a lot of slow characters Young Link can fight well. However, when he's fighting pretty much any of the other good characters who are faster, he can't really do anything. He can't really combo fast forward as well. He pretty much just gets bodied by the characters that I just didn't name. So it's basically like Young Link's pretty good as specifically a counter pick. But if you're trying to solo main, he's not the best. So yeah, there's another situation of, depending on what you value, they will be ranked differently. So that's why I'm mentioning these things, because I feel like they're all very important. Next, I'll have Link. I think Link, different than Young Link, Link is only good if you're maining Link, because Young Link, it's good as a secondary because it can cover certain bad matchups, but Link could get farther as a solo main, and we've seen successes of Links, like Link players in Europe, for example, that do well. There are Link's matchup. Link doesn't get as bodied as Young Link versus the cast as a whole, but he doesn't have as high of his strengths either. He's like more well-rounded than Young Link. Like Young Link has higher peak usefulnesses in important matchups, where Link is just like more consistent across the board. Next, I'll have Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is notably very good with the up air chains. You're pretty much relying on landing an up air or back air camping, but then more importantly, grab. Dash dance grab, crouch cancel grab, stuff like that can be really good. Now, the problem is it's a really linear, predictable playstyle, but he only needs one neutral win and he can literally just kill you. So that's balanced out too. Like he has a def grab on Fox and Falco on FD, for example. But good luck grabbing Falco on FD, but you can grab Fox on FD. It's because DK gets bodied by lasers really bad. Like amazingly bad. DK also has an up air shield, but it like starts above behind him, so it's like sort of weird. And like even characters like Sheik and Falcon, you can still do the up air chains. So I feel like he's pretty much carried by up air chain punish game. Otherwise, he would be like the worst. Like I would put DK as the worst at a low tier if it wasn't for him being carried specifically by up air combos. Next, I'll have Ganon. I almost wanted to put a tier gap here, because I think Ganon destroys all the characters ranked below him, like, really badly. Like, if there was a low-tier tournament, I feel like Ganon... I feel like Ganon should be banned from a low-tier tournament, just because, like, he bodies all the low tiers so badly that there's, like, no reason not to pick Ganon. He can literally just forward air, jab. So Ganon really... He's really good, like, if you're not that good at melee, or when you first pick up melee, because all you have to do is forward air, and then forward air jab every time, and people usually won't adapt. But at super top level play, he'll just get camped, and his recovery will be abused consistently. He'll be camped out in neutral. His forward air is exceptionally amazing, and the jab is safe before they can shield grab. And, you know, if he reads a roll in, he can do, like, downers and then do another aerial, which does a lot of damage. His down throw actually allows him to chain grab a lot of the cast. And he's very easy to use. I almost wanted to put a tier gap after DK and between Ganon, as I said. But at super top level play, which is the most important thing, I feel like he can't really do much. I feel like he's kind of gimmicky, and I feel like all of the top characters in the game outside of, like, I guess, like, Ice Climbers will all just destroy him. Next, I'll have Mario. Mario's another interesting case, because I almost wanted to put him a tier of his own where it's just Mario alone. I think Mario's definitely better than Ganon, but I think he's clearly worse than Dr. Mario. So Mario's pretty good in the sense that, like, compared to Doc, he has a stronger aerial, like more damaging aerials, and less landing lag on those aerials, which seems pretty nice on paper. And Mario also has a really good chain grab. Between up throw and down throw, he can chain grab a lot of the cast. It's harder to do the chain grab at 0 compared to, like, Doc, because Mario's up throw and down throw have less knockback. And Dr. Mario has, particularly on down throw, for example, has greater knockback. So it might be a little challenging to get the 0% combos, but from, like, low percent to, like, high percent, he can do, like, down throw chain grab on, like, Sheik, down throw up smash on, like, a floaty, up throw chain grab on fast fallers, and stuff like that. And that could be extremely useful. And his frame data is just much better. The only reason I put him here is because I felt like grouping him and Doc together, I felt like Doc is clearly noticeably better. Almost a full tier gap. Close enough that I put them as a tier gap. So next will be C tier or mid tier. As I said, Doc will be the worst of these. The worst of the mid tier. Although, to be fair, mid tier starts at, like, the middle point in the game. So if we're going by median, I think Doc's, like, around... I think Doc's around the middle. Yeah, I have Doc as 13 and 14 in the game. So, interestingly enough, after 18 years of experience, Mario and Doc are 13 and 14 on my tier list. So they're, like, pretty much the exact middle of the pack. They're pretty much as average as you get. I didn't even realize it until I just looked at it just now, but yeah. Back air does less damage, but it gimps. You can gimp characters at very low percents just by hitting them a single time with the back air. You could, or the first time you hit them, it'll either instantly kill them, or it sets up for another back air, or another cape, or an edge hog. And that makes it edge guarding free. Now, Doc's cape is also substantially better than Mario's in the sense that it goes far below the stage. For example, even if Fox or Marth does a completely perfect sweet spot, or any character does a perfect sweet spot for that matter, Doc's up B goes substantially below the stage. You can literally just throw out the cape, and it will hit below the stage very, very, very easily, and turn them around to gimp them. So you have back air for gimping, and cape for gimping. But what about KO power? Well, his down smash also does more damage and more knockback with the same frame data, and we all know that crouch cancel down smash with both Mario and Doc is extremely useful, but Doc's useful tool, which is also going to be very commonly used, is like just clearly better. Also, pills are better, straight up better than fireballs, like with not even really close. It does like more damage and knockback, and it bounces in a really useful way. And then it's like, okay, well, what about killing? Well, you have down throw F smash. Mario's is easier to land, to be fair, whereas Doc's is stronger. So basically, he can kill better at low percents, and he can kill better at high percents, and his neutral B is much better, and his edge guarding is much better. So in a lot of important, useful ways, Doc is substantially better than Mario. This is why I decided to put Doc as mid-tier and Mario as low-tier, because I feel like that tier gap is necessary here. The next character, I'm going to tie the next two characters because I'm not fully convinced which one is better. But if I was forced, if I was completely forced to pick an order, I would currently pick Luigi as the next character. Luigi is actually pretty, in a way, like I want to say he's underrated, but also has exploitable weaknesses. Like, he has a really long wave dash, and he can do things like wave dash F tilt. And if you're not already looking for it, like you're not prepared for the wave dash F tilt, and already setting up an aerial attack or a normal attack or like a shield grab, then it's not always the easiest to handle. And he doesn't always have to do the same wave dash length. He can like mix up short wave dash, long wave dash in different combinations. And after you condition them from like wave dash F tilt and stuff, you can do things like wave dash grab into a quick down throw or up throw, depending on if it's a fast fall or a slow fall. If they miss the DI, it'll go slightly behind Luigi, which means that you can set up like back airs or down smashes and start to get an edge guard from that point. He has a lot of really good combos, and with his great movement speed, which could be known as like human reaction time, it's like threat range. With all these different mix-ups in neutral based on his long wave dash, short wave dash, and mixing up tilts and forward tilt, specifically forward tilt and grabs. It may sound pretty simple, but he has a pretty decent way to like get in and out of space. And I feel like that's actually kind of underrated. His damage output is good. His combos are really good. The only thing really bad is his like honestly, the only thing truly bad about him is like his recovery. Even his landing isn't as bad as people say. Because like, okay, yeah, if you just fall off the aerial every time, it could be it might seem really bad. But you can actually like, I've done like morph juggles on Luigi. And at first, it seems like you fight a bad Luigi and they don't mix up and it seems easy. If they predict exactly when you're going to up air, they can trade with the down air. But that's not the only thing they have to do. That's not the only option they have. They could also do down B. And if they're predicting like the way you're always going to like do the timing that you do your aerial, they can not only beat with down air, but they can also do down B to stall themselves in the air a little bit. And then on their way down, it freezes them in place and then it comes down. So between mixing up down Bs and down airs, his landing isn't as bad as people say. Like, it's not good. It's still, like, below average probably, but it's not as bad as everyone claims. Luigi's also, I would say, slightly above average. Next, I'll have Samus. Samus and Luigi, pretty much as equal as it gets, but I'm just putting Samus higher for now because, you know, better results so far. Samus has something really, really good that people are not abusing. And it's harder on Battlefield, but it's much easier on every stage. There's a 2-frame window to do like a ledge jump into an up air in a certain way, which allows you to auto-cancel, and then you can do an invincible move, such as an invincible F-tilt, or if you're as crazy as Plup, you can do an invincible, and then short hop Nair. And even the Nair is invincible, but nobody does that except Plup, so not many people know about it. Hugs and Duck definitely need to start using this because it's extremely good. I've been telling them that for years. But if you use this, then Samus is actually good on the ledge instead of just being bad on the ledge. Where you can if you don't use this, she's much worse. But if you do use this, she's way better. Also, kind of similar to how Ganon is really good at like low-level play, or if you're not like amazing at the game. Samus is also like a noob killer in the way that like you hit her shield, she up-Bs out of shield. You try to approach her, she just does wave dash back down smash. And now you can block the down smash with like a character like Fox. You can block the down smash and then do things like wave dash into shine, or wave dash into wave shine up smash, for example. You can do that off Samus's F tilt. You can do it off Samus's down tilt, her down smash, or F smash. You can do that to a lot of moves. But then if the Samus predicts you doing that and conditions you in a certain way, Samus could just like wave dash to the center of the stage, or jab you once, and then your instinct might be to shield, and then she can mix up either grabs or bombs, or just wave dash to take stage control. The punish doesn't have to be a direct punish, like mixing up down smash with grab. It can just be gaining a better position and abusing human flowchart habits and stuff. There's other ways for her to fight. And she's not, I don't think she's that bad, but I also think that she's just barely outside of the top 10 in the game. So yeah, this is my tier list of who I think the bottom, low, and mid tiers are. This is the, let's say, what is that? The bottom 15 characters? So these are the bottom 15 characters, and my next video will talk about the top 10 characters ranked in order. And I have a pretty much a more solid opinion of those because, you know, it's the more concrete top tiers. Unlike the low tiers, it'll be a little bit easier to order. So that'll be my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell because I will be releasing more content. And let me know what you think in the comments below, what you agree, disagree with, and so on. See you guys later.